Hi folks, I'm at Chimney Rock Village and the rock is right behind me, but you can't see it unfortunately today because it's very foggy. But I was able to get into the village. You can't get in unless you have an escort or some sort of connection. So fortunately the divine orchestrated that. So here I am. And I just want to show you some of the construction that's going on, some of the destruction that happened in Hurricane Helene. So here we go. So here is the entrance to Chimney Rock State Park. And it's looking pretty trashed. Yeah, so it's closed. The river is right on the other side there. And here are some of the shops that survived, but they did get flooded. So all of these shops are under repair right now. Hopefully they can get back in business before May when tourist season starts again. We have some Bible verses on some doors. This really felt like Armageddon when all of this happened. So you can see the entrance there, and on the other side there's a bridge that is totally washed away. Wishing you a season filled with peace. Can't wait to see you again. Lots of positive vibes. Everybody trying to stay upbeat around here. So these stores are locked up. Now normally they would be hopping this time of year. This is the time of year when tourist season, definitely from fall to Christmas. This is December 16th. So this is the parking lot up here where the Chinook helicopters landed during the rescues. You can see how steep that mountain is. I don't see any houses up there, but I know some people live all up in there. There were definitely some mudslides. So yeah, look at this. The road is totally gone. And so I'm walking on mud right now. Wow. Yeah, so all of that light brown mud is where there used to be road and more shops. So the water's got very high. Still a lot of construction going on to try to rebuild this road. Wow, I remember these restaurants and shops. You could see them from the rock, Chimney Rock, which is up there in the clouds, which you can't see today. But that definitely that colorful umbrella place. I remember seeing that from up top Chimney Rock when I was here a year and a half ago. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so this is pavement up there that just broke off. So that's how high the water's got. I'm standing next to it, so my guess is around 20 feet above me is that pavement. So this is 2.5 months after the hurricane and still pretty much destroyed. See the roof on that building, how high up that is? That's messed up. It's a huge beam. Look at that, this pavement just broke off. Got construction going on up there, so I want to stay out of their way. Because this huge rubble, humongous rocks. Just the ground just totally eroded, just taken away. Oh, this is some sort of amusement park ride thingy that's demolished. Wow. So this is the road we would normally take to come into Chimney Rock Village. And looking back over here to the park entrance. And you can't get in, the roads are closed. And apparently will be for quite a while. Look at this. This building was totally turned on its side. You see the waters get this high, so see the roof there. Okay, I'm right behind that little building that was on its side and still is on its side. There's some construction going on, picking up debris. So here are these buildings. They got totally flooded. Look at that. That's full of mud still. Mud everywhere. Oh, they're trying to air it out down underneath. Because these places can get moldy and be totally useless if moisture is allowed to stay. You can see there's a door right there, how high the mud got up, and it's still here. I would have expected to see a whole lot more action today. Maybe there's some sort of break they're taking while the truck's in the cleanup. There's a chimney standing by itself. I guess the rest of its house is gone. And spokes of hope, they're super helpful in the disaster clear up. You can see that house right there, a bit of destruction happened. That doesn't even look stable on its foundation anymore. So they're working on building some road again. Not sure how all that's going to work out. Look at that massive rubble there. Now the entire town, I heard, is still without water, sewage, that kind of stuff. I think they have electricity now. I spoke to a resident a few days ago. Yeah, see, it's a nice, fairly calm river under normal circumstances. Except when you're hit by some sort of heavy, ridiculously intense rain and hurricane and wind. You're still looking down at the road that's closed. There's a house, yeah. So here's all the machinery. I guess they're just off today for some reason. Most of them. See all these wires, communication lines, electricity lines. It is going to be a while before this place is up and running again. I was going to say normal, but I don't think there's going to be a normal. It's just so shocking and devastating. So this gives you a clearer picture of how high the water's got. That's insane. Wow. So the resident said that the day after, I guess maybe there was some rain, I'm not sure, but it happened on the 26th. The rain happened on the 26th of September, and then the 27th waters still were rising, and this was true everywhere. It was true where I was too. Waters were still rising in the aftermath and getting higher and higher and higher, and people couldn't get out. And that's when the floods really happened. In some places was the aftermath. And there, folks here at Chimney Rock said there was a huge wave that came through and just really demolished everything on that next day. But the sirens didn't ring for quite a while. There's a siren when the waters get to a certain level. The residents were saying it didn't ring till well past the time of concern. So, oh, that's very curious. Here's more of the road, the original road. I don't recognize this at all. Look at all of that. I think there were houses up here that literally fell into the creek. We've definitely heard stories, total houses coming apart and or collapsing right into the river as it swelled. I just rode on down, and a lot of it all ended up in the lake. The Lake Lure was absolutely full of debris, of boards and things like that, all kinds of pieces of houses, buildings. So I hear it's pretty quiet today. Normally it's fairly noisy with big trucks coming in, hauling off stuff. So we got some good recording time. It's fairly quiet. So I'm walking on this space where the water swelled. It was completely flooded through here. So I heard they're going to try to fill in some of this river, try to turn it back to where it was before the flood. There's mixed feelings about it from the locals, thinking that might not be too stable. There's a flag turned upside down, probably on purpose. Casualties of war. Weather war. It's just impossible to describe this kind of devastation. The power of the river when it's being overloaded with water. So here's the back end entrance of Chimney Rock. Behind that gateway entrance where the bridge just broke off. It's hard to tell where it actually went. I think it turned left and then went on up to where the park is that we can't see today. Here's the back side of all these buildings that were along the creek. That one's clearly rebuilding. So some buildings apparently survived, but like that deck there, that's going to need to be totally redone. I think that was a restaurant. River Watch, Waterfront Bar and Grill. Okay, so So it says Chimney Rock, 3 miles. So you entered into the park and then you drove along the road up here, there, which wound up to where you then could climb up into the rock and do all the trails. Such a cool place. People being festive with their lights, keeping their spirits up. That's great. It's like a house or a little hotel, duplex, something or other. There's a chimney over there. Some of these places are repairable, but no, I don't think a lot of them are. Look at this one. The water just cut that right out from underneath Riverside Lodge. Looks like they're working on it. Look at that, stairs cut right off. See how the water just twisted metal like it was nothing. Water heaters. And obviously this is a wall that fell over, it looks like. Just tore the ground right out from under. There's a poster for Last of the Mohicans. That was a movie that was filmed here, I think in the late 90s. Also just around the bend at Lake Lure was where Dirty Dancing was filmed with Patrick Swayze back in the late 80s. This is a makeshift bridge they put in. I don't know if makeshift is the right word. Temporary bridge. Maybe it's going to become more permanent just so that residents can get in and out. So this is people's yards. It's all mud. So here's the other side of the river. I was just walking along the basin there. You can see how it just cut off of the land right there. I think this was a house taken off its foundation. You can see some of the pipes sticking up. This is all that's left. Here's a fire hydrant line. It's been uprooted or buried in sand. Not sure what the deal is here. So now I'm back up on the main road, what's left of it. So a lot of the merchants of Chimney Rock are at the Tryon International Equestrian Center, trying to continue their business there at Mill Spring. Wow, this was such a pretty place before. Yeah, a significant portion of the pavement's been cut off. All of this was parking lot right here. This is the Hickory Nut Gifts and Antiques. appears to be completely gone. Yeah. That's where it was. Here's the other side of that foundation where I think a house stood, and it's gone. Looks like that's the foundation of another house that's gone. Parts of it anyway. Yeah. So see, even though a lot of these shops survived, they can't really do business right now because nobody can be let in. Nobody can be let into the village to shop. And you may not get insurance for that. Some of these businesses don't because, there's nothing to repair, but they're out of business until things can get going again. So here's the front of that building where on the back end it's hanging off. The corner of it is over the edge. Here's those stairs that just drop right off. Now on the back side of it, or really technically the front side, there's that corner that's hanging off the edge. Here's what it looks like from above. A lot left to take care of, clean up. So that may have been a retaining wall down there, but nobody expected the waters to get this high. Nobody. There's a Harley Davidson shop. They have boarded up for now. There's the fudge shop. April's Boutique. There's the post office. Sacred Chakras. Oh, that sounds great. They're boarded up too, though. Oh, looks like a really neat gift shop with gemstones and all kinds of cool spiritual stuff. On this rock we stand, thank God. Candle shop, Natives Rest. Another fudge shop. General store, looks like they're pumping out water, getting some construction going on. And we're back at Featherheads, another really cool gemstone shop. We met them at the festival on Saturday. I'm so glad I got to be here.
All the mud out.
Who were they? The
101st Airborne Division of the Army.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The Hard Rock Company.
They helped clean out all the mud.
They were amazing. They did in 3 days what would have taken me over 3 months.
Yeah.
And then they helped me pull my floors out. And we got all the joists dug out and new plastic laid and got our floors back in. Now, they didn't help with those parts, but they did help me tear the floors out. And then we had to the only walls we had to tear out were back there, my stockroom and bathroom back there. And I had a few windows and doors blown out, but we're getting that back together. We've got the shop closed up, and we have a ways to go still before we can start getting the shop itself back together. But it's going to be a long time for the town reopen, so I don't have to be in a hurry about that.
Yeah. So, folks, I'm recording here. This is Featherhead's gift shop. Is that what you call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do anything online? Sell anything online?
No, that's what we're planning on working on this weekend. I mean this winter.
Okay. Great.
Trying to get an online presence. This has taken out of me everything I could do.
I can only imagine.
But we're just grateful. We still have a building. My brother's business in Back Cave completely washed away.
Oh.
He had about 20% of his business at another location, so he was able to preserve the production of a couple of items, but everything else he lost.
Wow. So I'm sitting here in my car after doing the walk around Chimney Rock, North Carolina. This is 2.5 months after the flood. And just kind of reflecting on things. And the energy feels odd. It still feels very disrupted to me as I sit here and tune in. It's just like this odd feeling. And it was just to be expected. But like there's feelings of definitely, there's a little bit of a downtrodden feeling, but there's also really, we're strong, Hickory Nut Gorge strong kind of energy. We see signs all around, and they're rebuilding steadily. This is a huge hit to industry for sure. Tourist industry is big here, but the residents and just feeling the trauma. And I mean, this is such a beautiful, special place, and it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. You can put ground back, sort of, but only so much, especially along a river. And but it's also the emotions, that people are feeling about. I don't know, just the uncertainty, the unexpectedness, the fear, no doubt. As you're watching, houses and things wash down river, those who saw it, looking in the aftermath, it's just like, what? I mean, it's very hard for me to get my bearings here. Things look so different. To just like even hardly remembering what it looked like, trying to match it with what I'm seeing now. It's so drastically different. And so I'm going to take a moment, and I'm inviting you to join me if you want. I do property clearing, house clearings, things like that. That's kind of a side job what I do. And it's on my website too if you're interested in receiving those services. I work with the Ascended Masters and Angels. And so I just want to kind of tune in to the area with prayer energy, supportive, meditative, loving energy. And to help that wash through, I'm seeing the colors green, wonderful glowing green, and some blues pouring through. Helping clear away some of that trauma energy just in this area, all of western North Carolina and East Tennessee, northern Georgia. It's this loving, supportive energy as they're still continuing to clear, to release the trauma, the shock, the loss of life, enormous loss of life that's not being reported on regular news. Enormous, thousands. People will never be found. There's lists of people, missing persons will never be found. So we want to bring love and light to them, as any of them may be wandering around as they find their way back into the light, their spirit. I just love this area, knowing that no matter what caused this storm, whether you believe it's dark forces, the government using weather modification, or nature, whatever you think it is. To me, it's much more than nature. This was an artificial storm for sure. We stand strong. We're not going to let things like this take us down anymore. Love is the strongest presence there is. It's the only presence there is, ultimately. And so we're bringing love to this area, and kindness, gentleness, nurturing, support. trade. And so the storekeepers who let me in, they said that they can't leave anybody here, so I have to go out with them. But any love you want to send to this area, anywhere in the world, the whole globe, we just keep raising the vibration and making this the new earth that we're heading towards. If that's the timeline you want to be on, let's do this. So be it.
Check out my next video, where I visit a main thoroughfare in Asheville, North Carolina, over 3 months after Hurricane Helene. It's still closed due to debris and destruction. I'll also show you how high the floodwaters got, the construction progress that's underway, and I interview construction workers about the situation and when cleanup and repairs are expected to be completed.